Good morning. I want to talk to you today about the power of a winning mindset. You see, in life, we all face challenges. We all encounter obstacles. But the difference between winners and everyone else is this. Winners don't make excuses. Winners don't look for reasons why something can't be done. They look for ways to make it happen. Maybe you've been through setbacks. Maybe people have told you it's too hard. You don't have what it takes. Or it's never been done before. But let me remind you, where there is determination, where there is faith, where there is a will to push forward, there is always a way. Excuses are comfortable. They let us stay where we are. They tell us it's okay to settle, but you weren't created to settle. You were made to rise higher, to overcome, to be victorious. You have gifts inside you that are meant to shine. Think about the greatest achievers, whether in business, sports, or life. They didn't get there by complaining about the difficulty. They got there by showing up, by doing the work, by refusing to let excuses steal their destiny. Maybe you didn't come from the right background. Maybe you've had failures, disappointments, or unfair situations. But that's not an excuse to give up. It's fuel to push forward. What's meant for you will not pass you by if you refuse to quit. Today, I challenge you. Stop making excuses and start making progress. Step out with faith. Give it your best. And watch doors open that you never imagined. Because when you decide to live without excuses, you step into the life you were meant to live. You're not a quitter. You're not a victim. You're a winner. And winners don't make excuses. Winners don't focus on obstacles. They focus on solutions. It's easy to look at a challenge and think this is too hard. I don't have the right resources. Or what if I fail? But winners have a different mindset. They acknowledge the problem, but they don't let it stop them. Instead of saying, I can't, they ask, how can I? Life will always present roadblocks, unexpected difficulties, closed doors, and moments when it feels like the odds are stacked against you. But the truth is, obstacles are not meant to stop you. They're meant to strengthen you. Every challenge you face is an opportunity to grow, to develop resilience, and to prove to yourself that you have what it takes. Think about an athlete training for a championship. If they focused on how tired they felt, how sore their muscles were, or how difficult the competition was, they'd never reach their potential. Instead, they push past the pain, stay committed, and keep their eyes on the prize. The same applies to life. If you focus on the difficulty, you'll get stuck. But if you focus on the goal, you'll find a way forward. Some of the greatest success stories started with impossible odds. People told them it couldn't be done. They didn't have the education, the resources, or the right background. But they refused to let that define them. They found a way, not because it was easy, but because they refused to quit. Your challenge today is to shift your focus. Don't dwell on what's wrong. Focus on what you can do. Don't magnify the problem. Magnify the possibilities. Because when you stop focusing on obstacles and start focusing on solutions, you'll find strength, creativity, and opportunities you never knew existed. Excuses feel good in the moment. They provide a sense of relief, a justification for why something didn't work out. They allow us to stay where we are without feeling guilty about it. I'm too busy. I don't have enough experience. It's not the right time. These thoughts can be comforting because they remove the pressure to take action. But here's the problem. Excuses don't just keep you comfortable. They keep you stuck. They create invisible walls around your potential. The more you justify inaction, the more you reinforce the belief that you can't do something. Over time, those small excuses turn into a mindset, and that mindset determines your future. Think about people who have achieved great things. They had every reason to make excuses. They faced setbacks, rejection, and difficulties just like everyone else. But instead of settling, they found a way forward. They didn't let temporary discomfort keep them from long-term success. Growth is uncomfortable. Success requires effort, sacrifice, and persistence. The question is, are you willing to push past the excuses? Are you willing to do what's necessary instead of what's easy? Because the moment you stop making excuses, you start unlocking your true potential. You were not created to settle. You were created to rise higher deep down. You know there's more in you. You weren't designed to live a life of mediocrity, just getting by, just accepting whatever comes your way. You were made with purpose, with gifts, with potential that is waiting to be unlocked. Too often, people settle because it's comfortable. They stay in a job they don't love, a situation that limits them, or a mindset that holds them back. They tell themselves, this is just the way it is. Or, I'll never be able to do more. But that's not the truth. The truth is, you have everything inside you to go further, to reach higher, to become all that you were meant to be. Rising higher requires stepping out of the familiar. It means refusing to accept average when greatness is possible. It means silencing the voices that say you can, and instead believing that you can. When you decide to stop settling, doors will open, strength will rise, and you will step into a new level of purpose. No matter where you are today, this is not your final destination. You have more in you. There are dreams to chase, skills to develop, and victories to win. So don't settle for less than your potential. Keep growing, keep believing, and keep pushing forward, because you were created to rise higher. Failures and setbacks are not an end. They are part of the process. Too many people see failure as a stop sign, a signal that they're not good enough or that their dream is out of reach. But the truth is, failure is never final unless you quit. Every setback, every disappointment, every closed door is simply a chapter, not the whole story. Think about the most successful people in the world. They didn't get there without failure. They faced rejection, made mistakes, and had moments where it seemed like nothing was working. But instead of giving up, they used those failures as stepping stones. They learned, adjusted, and kept moving forward. Setbacks are not there to defeat you. They are there to prepare you. Every time something doesn't work out, it builds resilience. It strengthens you. It teaches you something that success never could. If you never failed, you would never grow. If everything was easy, you wouldn't develop the strength to handle greater opportunities. Maybe you've tried something and it didn't work out. Maybe you faced disappointment after disappointment, and now you're questioning whether to keep going. Let me remind you, just because you failed doesn't mean you are a failure. Just because you fell down doesn't mean you can't get back up. The most powerful comebacks come from the hardest falls. Don't let failure define you. Let it refine you. Keep going, keep believing, and keep pressing forward, because your best days are not behind you. They are still ahead. Successful people don't wait for perfect conditions. They take action with what they have. Too often, people delay their dreams, waiting for everything to be just right. I'll start when I have more experience. I'll take that step when I have more money. I'll try when the timing is better. But the truth is, there will never be a perfect moment. There will always be challenges, uncertainties, and reasons to wait. Winners understand that success isn't about waiting, it's about starting. They don't let imperfect conditions stop them. They step out in faith, trusting that they'll figure it out along the way. The best time to begin is now, with what you have right where you are. Look at the people who have achieved great things. They didn't wait for every obstacle to disappear. They started the business with limited resources. They pursued the dream even when people doubted them. They took the leap of faith when it didn't make sense. Why? Because they knew that action creates momentum, and momentum leads to success. Maybe you've been waiting for the perfect time, the perfect resources, or the perfect opportunity. But what if the opportunity is already here? What if everything you need is already inside you? Don't let waiting become a habit. Start where you are. Give it your best, and trust that the right doors will open. Because success doesn't come to those who wait, it comes to those who take action. Your background, past failures, or circumstances do not define your future. Too many people look at where they come from and assume that's where they'll stay. They let past mistakes, disappointments, or challenges convince them that they'll never rise higher. But where you started is not where you have to finish. Your past is just a chapter, not the whole story. Maybe you didn't grow up in the best environment. Maybe you faced rejection, made wrong choices, or had people tell you that you'll never amount to much. But the truth is, what others say about you doesn't determine your future. What you believe about yourself does. You have the power to rewrite your story. History is full of people who came from nothing, who faced overwhelming odds, but who refused to let their past hold them back. They decided that their dreams were bigger than their setbacks. They understood that failure was just a lesson. You may have faced obstacles, but they are not there to stop you. They are there to prepare you. Every struggle, every challenge has made you stronger, wiser, and more equipped for what's ahead. Don't let the past become an anchor. Instead, let it be the foundation that launches you into something greater. Your destiny is too great to be defined by where you've been. Shake off the doubts, rise above the excuses, and step into the future that was meant for you. Because your past may have shaped you, but it does not have the power to limit you unless you let it. Excuses steal your potential, but persistence unlocks it. Every time you make an excuse, you give away a piece of your future. You limit what's possible. Not because you aren't capable, but because you've convinced yourself that you can't. Excuses keep you in the same place, repeating the same cycle, never stepping into the greatness that's inside you. But persistence is the key that unlocks everything you were meant to be. When you refuse to give up, when you push past the doubts, when you choose discipline over comfort, you step into a new level of strength. You may not see results immediately, but every effort, every sacrifice, every step forward is making a difference. Look at the most successful people in any field. They weren't the ones who had the easiest path. They were the ones who refused to quit. When doors closed, they knocked on another. When they faced rejection, they kept going. They understood that persistence outlasts difficulty. You don't have to be the smartest, the most talented, or the most experienced. But if you're willing to keep going, if you refuse to let excuses steal your potential, you will rise higher than you ever imagined. Challenges will come, obstacles will appear, but persistence will carry you through. Keep pushing, keep believing, and keep moving forward, because your destiny belongs to those who refuse to give up. The right mindset will take you further than talent or opportunity alone. Talent is a gift and opportunity is a blessing, but without the right mindset, neither will take you very far. You can have all the skills in the world, but if you doubt yourself, give in to fear, or allow negativity to control your thoughts, you'll never reach your full potential. Success isn't just about what you have. It's about what you believe. It's about how you see yourself, how you handle challenges, and how you push forward when things don't go your way. The right mindset turns obstacles into opportunities. It refuses to focus on what's missing and instead finds a way to make things happen. Think about the people who have achieved great things. Many of them weren't the most talented and they didn't always have the best opportunities, but they had something even more powerful: a determined, unstoppable mindset. They refused to quit, refused to settle, and refused to let setbacks define them. On the other hand, there are talented people who never reach their potential because they let doubt, fear, or excuses hold them back. They wait for the perfect opportunity instead of creating their own. They focus on what's wrong instead of what's possible. And as a result, they stay stuck. But that doesn't have to be you. If you develop the mindset of a winner, one that is focused, determined, and unstoppable, you will go further than talent or opportunity alone ever could. Because the right mindset doesn't just open doors, it builds doors where none existed before. Every challenge is an opportunity to prove how strong and capable you are. Life will always present obstacles, some expected, some completely unforeseen. There will be moments when the path ahead seems uncertain, when setbacks make you question whether you should keep going. But here's what separates winners from everyone else. They don't see challenges as barriers. They see them as stepping stones. Difficulties are not meant to break you. They are meant to reveal the strength that already exists inside you. When you push through adversity, you develop resilience. When you face opposition and refuse to back down, you build endurance. Every time you overcome an obstacle, you gain confidence in your ability to handle the next one. Think about the strongest people you know, mentally, emotionally, and physically. They didn't get that way by having an easy life. They became strong because they faced hardships, endured struggles, and kept going when it would have been easier to quit. Strength is not developed in comfort, it is forged in the fire of challenges. You may be facing something difficult right now: a personal struggle, a career setback, a financial hardship, or a season of uncertainty. It may feel overwhelming, but what if you shifted your perspective? Instead of seeing this as something working against you, what if you saw it as something working for you? What if this challenge is actually preparing you for something greater? History is filled with people who turned their biggest struggles into their greatest victories. Some of the most successful individuals started with nothing, faced rejection, or had to overcome tremendous odds. But instead of letting those challenges define them, they used them as fuel to grow stronger, work harder, and push beyond their limits. you have that same strength inside of you. Every difficulty you face is an opportunity to prove to yourself just how capable you truly are. This is not the end of your story. It's a defining moment. You are stronger than you think, wiser than you realize, and more powerful than you've been told. So don't run from challenges. Embrace them, learn from them, grow through them. Because every challenge is not just an obstacle. It's an invitation to rise higher, to become better, and to step into the greatness that was always meant for you. Winners refuse to quit because they know their destiny is too great to waste on excuses. They understand that what's ahead of them is far more important than the obstacles in front of them. They don't let temporary setbacks convince them to settle. They don't allow fear, doubt, or discouragement to keep them from pursuing what they were meant to achieve. Instead, they press forward, knowing that every step brings them closer to their purpose. Quitting is easy. It's the natural response when things get hard, when progress seems slow, or when the journey feels overwhelming. But winners operate differently. They refuse to give in to the temptation of quitting because they recognize that their destiny is worth fighting for. They know that greatness requires endurance, that success demands perseverance, and that nothing truly valuable comes without a price. Look at any successful person, an athlete, a business leader, an artist, or an innovator. Every one of them faced moments where quitting seemed like the logical choice. They faced failures, rejection, and opposition. But what separated them from the rest was their refusal to stop. They pushed past disappointments, ignored the doubters, and kept going when others would have walked away. That's what winners do. Winners understand that every time they push through hardship, they are strengthening their character. They know that perseverance is like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it becomes. They've trained themselves to see challenges not as signals to stop, but as opportunities to rise higher. Maybe you face difficulties. Maybe you've tried something that didn't work out, and now you're questioning whether you should keep going. Let me remind you, your destiny is too great to let excuses rob you of what's possible. There is so much more inside you, so much more ahead of you, but if you quit now, you'll never see it come to life. Every time you feel like giving up, remind yourself why you started. Remind yourself of the dream, the vision, the passion that pushed you forward in the first place. The road to success isn't meant to be easy, but it is worth it. So keep going, keep believing, keep fighting for the future that is waiting for you, because winners don't quit, and neither should you. As you stand at this moment in your journey, facing obstacles, dealing with setbacks, and perhaps feeling the weight of challenges, remember this: you were not created to live an average life. You were not meant to stay stuck in excuses, regrets, or limitations. You were made for more. The difference between those who succeed and those who fall short isn't intelligence, talent, or luck. It's the mindset of persistence. It's the unwavering belief that no matter how hard the road gets, no matter how many times they stumble, they will not stop until they reach their destiny. So I challenge you today, refuse to settle, refuse to listen to the voice of doubt, and refuse to give up on what you know you were meant to do. Excuses may offer comfort, but they will never offer progress. Challenges may feel overwhelming, but they are shaping you for something greater. One day, you will look back and realize that every hardship, every closed door, and every struggle was preparing you for something beyond what you imagined. You will see that the moments you wanted to quit were the moments that built the strength you needed to win. So make the decision today. No more excuses, no more waiting, no more settling. Step forward with confidence, knowing that your destiny is too great to be wasted on fear or hesitation. Keep moving, keep believing, and keep fighting for the life you were meant to live. Because winners don't quit, and you are a winner.